Alright. Before I start this, I will have to say that this comes from Reddit, and I will be putting the link down in the description for the Reddit page. Without anything else, let's go. 2020 was a lot of things, but 2020 was the beginning of my worst days. It was an average day in May, or so I thought. I used to keep a small wooden league bat next to my door as a reminder of my papa's love. My mom grabbed it and I asked her not, and she dismissed me. My mom had already been a bit wacky at this point. She even threw tantrums when she didn't get her way. She had my therapist keep me on antidepressants, despite the side effects I was given. So this day, I called my stepdad, who was at the time no longer with my mom, and I began to vent about how much worse it was getting at home. My stepdad was a huge support from me, even though he was no longer with my mom. We made plans and we went to his girlfriend's, and we agreed to call her later. It was 5 p.m., so I went to call my stepdad, but it went to voicemail. So I made dinner for my brother, assuming that Dad was busy, but then 8 p.m. came around and my mom wasn't home. I began to worry. 9 p.m. voicemail, 10 p.m. voicemail, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, I had fallen asleep. And then 3 hours later, I was shook harshly. My mom had a small bruise on her neck, and her face was swelling just a little. She started now to show crocodile tears, and said that my stepdad tried to murder her, and we were in danger. I felt my heart break as if my whole world had fallen apart. She began to show off his mugshot as a kind of trophy, saying, "I got him good." I couldn't stand back the look of the mugshot of the man. I also called Dad, but I became suspicious, and after my mom kicked me out at 17, I tried to make contact. I did, but right after he picked up, and I said hello, I said, "Dad, I don't feel safe. I want the truth of what happened that night." He said, "I'm sorry, I can't tell you. I shouldn't have called." I broke down, and for the next few days later, my mom had called to harass me as I broke a restraining order. She had, fast forward, I was forced to move back in, and she put me through abuse, hardship, poor living conditions, and constant work, so I could fail a mental evaluation. But I stayed strong. I got hit B, and she abandoned me. A month later, she took everything, even my ESA for my CPTSD. I was those. And I have been told my mom talks about me the same way as my stepdad. When I turned 18, I instantly reached out to my stepdad, and to my horror, he confirmed the conclusion I had made. He told me how my mom got his GF at the time drunk and convinced her that my stepdad say her and convinced her to beat my stepdad to death and claim self-defense. And he said he had God knows how many baseball bats, but before he almost blacked out and randomly got arrested for domestic assault, which saved him. The stuff that my mom had was stopping her from hitting him. I saw his hospital report. Cracks in the skull, broken rib, stitches everywhere, a significant blood loss, and bruises everywhere. I'm pretty sure my mom knows everything and had attempted to scare me into running back to her, offering my ESA back. If I did, I know she can't be trusted because I know she wants to silence me. I've been the only one who's ever spoke out ever.